YouTube friends, welcome to the Red Parrot channel. I am your host, Mary Ellen. This is an episode of making the self-care journal. We're going to do a couple of pages because today is a good day for self-care. Oh, cup of tea. This is a highly oversteeped tea because I got distracted by the internet and that sort of solidified my notion that I should do some self-care because there's nothing like yelling at people on the internet that do not share your considered opinions. So I did some blocking and I did some walking away. And I'm proud of both of those things. So where are we at? Where are we at? Self-care is how you take your power back. Oh yeah, okay, so we should probably we were doing these, weren't we? Yes, okay, we've got those. So, it's come into my possession a Sakura sticker. I'm not off by much. I need the little doodly-doos there and a little bit better shaping. Okay. We can use that as a template. We might be able to do some of those. We are going to do 2 more cards. If I can find the cards. Yayish. I want another heart. Queen of Hearts. Sure, why not? There. Put these back in here. It is a goal of mine to finish up 1 packet of cards this year. Sure? Nope. Here we are. I knew I had a hole in somewhere. Okay, so what do we want to do? We want to make 2 more cards. I need a set of pockets. I should have put that away. And we are going to see if we can make some more of these stickers. That is the goal for today. So what do we have for our, okay, wash your face. That's one. Another one in here somewhere. Make a cup of tea. So I've done that. Go outside. I did that. Do the dishes. Maybe not. And the other 2 things that I was thinking would be nice to do. One is make your bed. And I can't remember what the second one is, but I'm sure we'll think of something between now and the time where we have to write it down on the card. What was the other thing? Just a small little thing. We'll need to do some other pages in this probably soon, mostly because I think everybody's a bit twitchy. And by everybody, I mean me. I'm just going to butt that up to the edge because I can. There we are. Another one of these. Okay, there we are. Yep, oh, good enough. It is snowing. I was minding my own business earlier today, about an hour ago, and suddenly it got really dark out, and I had this sudden start that it went just really dark, and I looked outside and it was just snow. snow everywhere. Okay, so we've got that. We need to do some pockets. And we're down to this end. What was the thing that how did we do this last time? It was a bit of a wreck last time, it seems to me. Okay, so that's where we need to fold it to. And it goes without saying, but I will say it anyways. You do the things, you make the card words the things that make most sense to you. Oh, I need to trim that down a bit. Because they are for you. This is just a way to be able to just remind yourself that there is a place that you can go that is made for you specifically and made to deliver help of some kind or another. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. The professor that talked about, she has a whole lecture on Coursera, which is a free university level learning platform like edX and a couple others, same kind of thing. You can get courses that are university grade for free. If you want the certificate will cost you some money. The whole idea, somebody somewhere, I'm sure it was a bunch of somebodies in a bunch of locations, said, you know what, we need a way to be able to create access to education anywhere in the world where all you need is a phone. And thereby, what did they call it? There's a phrase for it. I'm not going to be able to think of it. It's kind of there. It's kind of there. I'll do that a little bit higher because I want to get rid of the holidays. What's the expression? When the water level rises, all ships rise, which I love as an expression. And that is just improve the life of everybody, and then everybody's life will improve, kind of thing. And so her name is Lori Santos, S-A-N-T-O-S. She's a professor at Yale. Yeah, we can just do curves. Wow. It's not symmetric at all. There we are, that's better. And so she talks about, she has a whole course on the science of happiness. And she uses scientific experiments, or at least the results thereof, to create a list of 5. That's got to be just a little bit lower. Nuts. Maybe that's what I want to do. We'll try it. No reason why we can't change. Yep, it's going to go there. And so I have not completed the course, but I've taken most of it. And I can't, for whatever reason, go back in time and get the lessons. So I'm looking for her speeches, maybe at TED Talks or whatever, to be able to get what it was that she said. And so I'm trying to think of, I think I have 2 of them so far. One of them is to make a social connection. And the social connection can be as low-key and transient as just having a little chit-chat, say with like a bank teller, or somebody at the grocery store, or whatever. It does not need to be a complicated discussion at all. It just is about humanity and making a connection. The experiment was the following. People were placed into 2 groups. And both groups were going to be traveling on the like public transportation. And one group was put into the don't talk to anyone category. And their job was very specifically to ride the whole trip and not talk to anyone. Not, make eye contact or whatever, like read a book, do whatever, but job was not to have any kind of social interaction. And the second group was the exact opposite. And that is to have some kind of conversation with somebody on the trip. Didn't have to be long, but it could be if it turned that way. So no particular minimums, except that you needed to have contact. And so they measured the pre and the post. So how happy did you think you were going to be as a result of being in this category? And then afterwards, how satisfied were you with the trip overall? And the people who were sorted in the category where I don't have to talk to anybody, they all thought that they were going to be very happy. And the people who had who needed to talk to somebody all thought that they were going to have a crummy trip. And when they got to the end, it turns out that it was the opposite. So that making a connection with another human being is important. It contributes to your happiness. And as I remember somebody in yoga, no, it's meditation. Meditation is not going to fix everything. Sometimes it's not going to fix much, but what it will do is make you 10% happier. So part of self-care is doing a bunch of little things that have incremental effects. Oh, I need a pen. I need a pen. We're gonna still need to think about what our other one is going to be. So doing the dishes and making your bed are sort of do something now that will meet yourself in the future, and you will have taken care of yourself. What do these look like? Go outside. Okay, so I need to do some kind of a border. Make your bed. Okay, that's a funny K. Make Your? Put a word down. I'm going to just say the. And then I saw somebody somewhere on the internet at one point did a really fun thing with the word bed. And that is, you can create a bed. Ooh, it's gonna be tricky. Okay, we'll be fine. There. Bed, there's one. Go outside. What else is going to be something that's useful that we can do? Do the dishes, wash your face, blah, blah, blah. Oh, I didn't do the hearts. Oh, I'm going to do them on the outside then. There. Put on some hand cream. Put on some hand cream. Wow. Use hand. I'm going to say use hand cream just because there's less letters. You. This doesn't seem to be the. Wow. There. 10-minute little activities that are focused on you, exclusively on you, that take not a lot of time and can sometimes break a cycle of rumination or just unhelpful activities. Okay, so I use Nancy pages for that. There we are. Okay, and we're going to do some more sakura. I feel like this project has completely redefined cherry blossoms for me into this lovely, I don't want that color, I want this color. It's like as soon as I see that now, I think of self-care. And I love that it's not like a rose or a tulip or something like that. It's just a flower that is not as common here because it feels more intentional to this. You pick whatever flower you would like. So I kind of want to think about this. So let's try. I want a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it goes up a bit. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's going to go like that and like that. Okay. Okay, and then they do ooh, doesn't look that fancy. Looks fancy. Okay, do the yellow in the middle. I suppose I could do that last. These still look kind of goofy. How does it fit? Whew. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it for the minute. That's one of the great things about drawing, and I think is lost on the average person who says, oh, I can't draw. Yeah, you probably can. You can probably, right, put down lines and maybe some shading, or even just block color, and you can communicate the thing you want to communicate. If you can understand a 4-year-old's drawing of a dog, you should be able to do at least as good as that. And notice I say at least as. You probably haven't lost your capacity that you had as a kid. Wow, that looks weird. Okay, let's do that one again. We can do 2. Let's do something smaller. Okay, so one of the things is I put the dot for this right down here. So the dot's got to go higher. Ooh, yeah, this one's going to be way better. Yes. Another thing you could probably do is just doodle. Doodle. Draw a flower. Doodle a flower. Doodle a sakura if you want, or a sakura. Here. I also have a couple of websites that we need to do a page on websites. Let's hang on. We need to do some planning once I get this sorted out. There we are. And then that one is a good one. I like that one a lot. We're taking this one, we're gonna chalk that one up to learning. By the end of this journal, I'm going to know how to draw this with some accuracy. That's, I think, the problem also with art. It's like the first time you try something, you still watch people and it's like, oh, I just can't do this. Like, well, you just tried it once. It's like you've never, you know, run or skated or whatever. You can't just sort of do that and go, oh, I can't skate because I fell once. Well, that's the first time you've ever had skates on. Anyways, it's my pep talk for saying, keep at it. Worst thing that can happen is you're enjoying yourself. Wow. Love that. So we've got some fun little 10-minute activities that we can do. And as we keep going, we can put in more cards. We could do another page. Do all sorts of things. We can swap out cards if we want. Let's envelope. Let's put that. Oh, we need that. Okay, so at the very end, I would like to put in I think this is going to be my format. The title is always going to be the ruler width there. So we've got the first one, which is 10-minute activities. Let's do websites. Oops. Oh dear. Let's just pretend that's a W. E. There. I kind of want to just color this in because it will hopefully what does W look like? There. So, websites. We don't have to be any more complicated, I don't think, than just drawing these lines. And I'm going to have to put you on hold for a second because I need my iPad so that I can give you the websites. Or at least two to start with. Oops, I didn't get that one at all. There, that's better. Okay, we're back. Okay, and what am I looking for? I am looking for oops. So here is website number 1. And it is called Action for Happiness .org. And so this is a really interesting site, and I use it virtually every day at work because we have these little team things that makes life go, and we always look at whatever the quote of the day is going to be. So they have 12 months of the year. They will pick a month, and then they will use tangible activities that you can do each and every day that connects back to that sort of overarching monthly theme, goal, idea, or whatever. I think this is British based. Sign up for our resources. So there's a lot of stuff here. So this is just, I just clicked on browse resources. Less busy, more happy, how to beat anxiety, thriving later in life, lessons for living well, hope in difficult times, letting go, finding peace, deep listening, how to find meaning, etc., etc. Self-care in hard times. So you can actually, this is a resource for anybody by topic. There's a search engine that's here. It's awesome. So calendar. So this is Happier January, and you get this calendar. And I've been filming a little bit ahead, so this is going to be slightly out of order. Today is slightly highlighted, the 22nd, that says plan something fun and invite others to join you. Sounds like a lot if you're deep in a hole, but you can plan one little thing that might be less awful than everything else, and you might be able to do it with, say, one other person, or maybe it's a pet. Might be a connection virtually. It may be all you can do is just do something that is slightly less awful. It might be something that's genuinely fun, and go ahead and do it. So yesterday's was try something new to get out of your comfort zone. You don't have to do them all. You can even just read them in any event. Great resource. actionforhappiness.org. That's one. And next one is something called Palouse, P-A-L-O-U-S-E, mindfulness, mindfulness.com. This is hosted by John Kabat-Zinn. And he's all that in a bag of nuts in the meditation, mindfulness, peacefulness space. And this is his, or one of his locations where you can come to do a course. And it's a Palouse mindfulness course. And it is free. Free. I have a personal axe to grind. I totally get that it takes infrastructure to be able to build things, to be able to program to do art, all that kind of stuff. It is my considered opinion that if you have an app or you have a claim that says that you are here to support people with mental health issues or health issues in general, but certainly mental health issues, a portion of that has to be free. I get that you can pay extra for the extra fancy, totally get it, but there needs to be some core that is accessible. And that is a litmus test for me to be able to say, are you, that decision of accessibility, particularly in mental health, is to me a determinant that says whether or not the leaders and the decision makers understand mental health enough to be able to do that. So anyways, those are my two websites that I can float out there for now. I'm sure I have others. I don't know what they are off the top of my head. Websites, there's going to be apps. I'm just sort of doing some filling in at the moment. I might as well do all the lines now. Oops, come on. This pen is not happy. Am I running out of ink? Can I tell? Can I open it? I can't even tell. I'm gonna say that's my problem. Hang on. Oh, I finished a pen. Oh, that made me so happy. Finished pen, empty. There is something so joyful about finishing an actual pen. Like, look at how much work it took me to get a pen finished. There we are. Okay, this one should work. Wow. I'm well chuffed at that. Woo, look at that. Oh, it's fresh ink even. Woohoo. Oh, when I get to replace it. Oh, the fun things that are happening right now before our eyes. Who says that today isn't awesome? Okay, what did I want to put on this page? Apps. Is apps 2 P's or 1? I'm going to say 2. Oh dear. Whoops. It makes me happy. It's just hilarious. One piece got all nice and curves, the other one boxy. Apps. Do I have any apps? I do. They're on that phone that I am now filming this with. I wonder if I can find it here. At least one that's really been helpful to me. So this is the app. I'm going to hold it up so you can recognize it if you see it. It's called Finch Self-Care Pet. And that's the little guy there. And that's the app, Health, Fitness, and Lifestyle. So we'll put that down. Finch Self-Care Pet. The idea is that there is a little finch that you get. It's kind of like, do you remember Tamagotchi, where you were sort of keeping alive a little electronic thing? You're not keeping the finch alive. The finch is your self-care buddy. So you send the little finch on adventures, and you can buy little shoes for it and hats and all this kind of stuff. And it's got a little nest, and you can decorate the nest and all that kind of stuff. Point being that around that, you can set up, here are the goals for today. Like first 3 every morning, take 3 deep breaths, drink some water, get out of bed. And so each of those activities, once you do them, you click on the box and you get a little check mark and little ta-da! The whole gamification, all the things that make you want to play games, it incorporates here. And if you get enough check marks, then you send the finch on an adventure, and you pick places for it to explore, like a whole pile of different places, like New York, Tokyo, London, whatever. Let's say it's London, England. And so it goes out for a 5-hour walk. And as you complete more things during the day, you help the finch complete the cycle sooner. And then when you get it done, it comes back, you have a little conversation. Within the app as well, there are a whole pile of additional small resources. Self-reflection, boosts, motivations, all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of additional, kind of like what this journal is going to be, like what this 10-minute activity is supposed to do, also available in an app. Highly recommend, 10 out of 10. This is also free to me because I have the zero, the no pay portion, but there is a pay portion. And so all that gives you is a little bit more, but the no pay, robust, all you really need. And this has been really helpful for me because it is sort of a buddy that is not an actual human being. It's just, you sort of talking to yourself. In any event, there we are. We are going to have to do, so we had to get 10, 20 hour activities. We've got websites, apps. At some point, we're going to have to, maybe this is the emergency page, because I want to have one of those pages that, and you know this because you know yourself, you get into, oh my goodness, it is all gone south, and I am now having, it's not a bit of a moment. It is not a crisis, but yeah, I am not doing very well right now. And it's sort of 911 emergency, how can I direct your call kind of activities. So we can call this one, I'm going to do this in a different color. Let's call it, I don't want, first aid. First aid. Ah. I feel like I want to put one of these down. I don't like giving like first aid and then just sort of walking away from that. That feels not helpful at all. That's the one I just used. Silly. There. So. I am looking around for something. What do we want to do here? Do we want to do pockets? Or do we want to do like spaces? Most important thing is to write something down. So, ooh, that'll work. So, the things that you might want to put in here is 5 senses, scan. 5 senses scan is you put your feet flat on the floor, you sit comfortably, and then you go through your 5 senses. 5 things you can feel. No, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. And that'll take a while, and the whole notion of that is that it brings you back into your body. Another thing that does that is belly breathing. And belly breathing is something very specific. Hand on your chest, another hand on your belly, preferably lying down in a comfortable position. And you're going to breathe and make sure that the hand on your chest is not moving and the hand on your belly is. So you're actually breathing in a way that expands your belly and keeps your chest not moving. That particular activity stimulates something called the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve, really important for the calming of a body down. And when the vagus nerve is stimulated, the body gets a sense of safety and calmness. And so that is super helpful. What else do we want to put down here? And so I'm listing these. You can go to the internet and you can get more information. I think when we do these signs, we should maybe do like 4 and do like 5 senses, write it all down, belly breathing, write it all down. But like I say, I don't want to leave the first aid area blank without putting something down. Kabat-Zinn. So Kabat-Zinn has something called progressive relaxation. And he and a bunch of other people, it's not exclusive to him. I just know that he has a YouTube video. I think it's maybe 40 minutes long or whatever, and you can just open it up and play. Progressive relaxation, again, finding a comfortable space where you can lie out. And what he will guide you through is a meditation that is just wiggle your left big toe. Wiggle your right big toe. Wiggle your left other toes. Wiggle your right other toes. And because it's getting you back into your body so that you are getting grounded again. So I'm going to leave that. I'm just going to fold that like that so we don't lose it. That's going to be like that. So it's going to be in the center. And so we've had a chance to sort of talk about that. So we will do, we've got those and those. We get to color. 10, I think it's 20 minutes. 20-minute activities. And then an hour-long activity. And there's also something called boosts. So boosts are, for any of these timed activities, something a little extra that makes it a bit better. The best example that I can think of is some kind of music. So you're making your bed, radio, plunk in, or YouTube or whatever, just plunk in whatever is your favorite kind of music. And then you're just increasing that sense of pleasure, relaxation, and so forth. I'm just going to put this down in light so I don't forget. So that's boosts. This is 20 minutes. 60 minutes. Okay, so we've made progress today, I think, I'm going to say. We've got boosts, so that's going to be the first part. We'll have one more page. No, we'll have a couple more pages because we've got websites, got apps, got a couple more pages here. One of them will be the happiness. Do I want to do that? Sure. It is interesting to see how some of these start to blend. So, for example, what the Finch activity might be asking you to do might also be, a version of, first aid, only a little slower. That might also be something that is kind of connected to something here. It becomes this whole body of work that is really supportive of, yeah, you know what, just try and do incrementally, just a little bit. This isn't, we're gonna change the world overnight. I absolutely understand how difficult it can be when you have a mental health issue to do something different. And so we are really going to be kind to ourselves, and we're going to look at that tiny little space that says I can do one itty bitty thing differently today, and I'm going to choose something that is going to be a positive towards my self-care movement. Might be making a cup of tea, might be washing your face. I don't know, you do you. That's what we're trying to do. Anyways, I kind of want to do that. Should we do that? We could, because it's better than the heart, I think, in a way, to me. Let's do it. There. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. We're going to have hearts all over. We can have the sakura all over. No, that's okay. Okay, so I think I'm done with this. I hope this has been helpful. I hope if nothing else, it has been something to watch. And please know that this is encouragement for whoever needs it, that the world is full of things that can help. And you are worthy of that help. Anyways, that is all for now. Please take very good care of yourself. Stay out of trouble. Always love you lots, and I'll see you soon. Bye now.